Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Charm City Heavyweights podcast brought to you by the great folks at Great 8 Sports and Memorabilia in Parkville, Maryland. I'm the host, Matt Trigger. With me, as always, is Josh Merrill. Josh, what is going on, man?
What's up, Matt? Coming live from the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. We got the Orioles orange going on.
I like the ambiance you got over there, and I know that you're not really good with big words, so that means it's a nice setting. So
you can't spell it.
I don't want you to try. I don't want you to try.
No, I said you can't spell it.
Hey, we're not going to go there, motherfucker. But anyway, we are going to be updating the Orioles' first week of the regular season. We're going to talk a little bit of Ravens football. Got some rumors that Odell Beckham Jr. was offered a contract after his visit with the.
He's playing us.
Oh, he's definitely playing us. We'll get to that.
He ain't coming here.
We'll definitely get to that.
Everybody calm the fuck down. He ain't coming here. He's fucking with us. He wants to go to New York. He's waiting for Rodgers to sign up in New York.
Yeah, that might be. We'll talk about the ramifications that could have for Lamar Jackson. And we're going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania. I know that we didn't do a preview show, but, you know, big news coming out of the WWE that they were bought by Endeavor, the company that owns.
That's good news, but the other shit with it ain't.
UFC's parent company bought WWE, and they're going to be a publicly traded company called TKO, which is what is being reported by multiple media outlets. So let's kind of dive right into it, man.
Is Undertaker going to come in the middle of a Conor McGregor match and choke slam somebody?
I highly doubt it, but this is could be potentially very good or very bad for the WWE, depending on who you are and how you feel
Vince
about
is back in charge. Vince is calling the shots.
Yeah, unfortunately, Vince is back in charge again.
If anybody's seen that interview with the big money guy that just bought the company
on CNBC,
yeah, he was basically giving Vince all the praise. He was like, he turned this company from nothing to
he did
multi-billion-dollar company, and he should be doing this.
It was a regional territory in the Northeast to being a worldwide.
And he overpaid his dad because his dad didn't want nothing to do with it. He overpaid his dad. What, $300,000 or $400,000 is now a multi-billion-dollar company. And they said he had a deal with his father apparently because he didn't have the $400,000. He made it in payments, and his dad told him, I'm putting in the contract, you miss, or if you're late one payment by one day, the contract is then void, and I keep all money that was owed to me. So his dad was going to fuck him financially if he missed one payment.
Well, that made him a shrewd businessman in the end.
It did.
The estimated sale value is $9.3 billion, which is richer than any single major sports franchise in America. It's crazy.
The two biggest combat sports. Look, wrestling's predetermined, but it's still a combat sport. They're still beating the shit out of each other. Anybody disputes that, Google Charlotte Flair hits face at WrestleMania. I mean, she ate the mat. She looked dazed and confused when she sat up. So don't call it fake. But anyway, two of the biggest combat sports are now together. It's weird.
And they're going to be a publicly traded company. And
it used to be like Dana White didn't like wrestling, and then Brock started saying shit like Dana, shut up, and it's both the same thing as selling fights.
It's lucrative. Now the thing is, as a WWE fan, do you now have to reevaluate how you consume the product because the UFC has streaming for their fights, but it's all their undercards. They make you pay big money for the pay per views now. Are they going to go to that model again, where you
I
got to
don't know.
pay $60 or $70 a month to watch the pay per views in HD down the line? You know, they've
Shit. Be damned
when
if I do that.
when Endeavor bought UFC, they've raised the price for their pay per views by $15 to $20 every 2 years, and the evaluation is quadrupled in terms of what they bought it for versus what it's worth now. I don't really want to like get into the whole Mania review. I thought it was a relatively decent pay per view. I don't think that it was.
It was good. It just
It was
didn't. You
good.
just didn't like the ending. Put a damper on it. Be honest.
Yeah, the
If that
ending
ending ended with Cody, you'd be saying it was an amazing WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Great
that's because
job,
I
but it
wanted.
didn't end the way you wanted it. So you're being sour.
I wanted Cody to walk out champion, but
Everybody did.
Vince
obviously got in charge. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he don't come out as fucking Stardust next week. Vince is going to kill him. He ain't a Vince made guy. He made his name outside of WWE.
But the thing is,
and Vince
was
don't do good with people like that. Who's done well with that besides AJ?
Vince was in charge when he came back.
Oh shit, AJ's it.
Vince was in charge.
Vince was in charge when he came back.
Yes, Vince was still in charge before the scandal when he came back a year ago, and he's the one that booked him at Mania to be a rock star, and then he got hurt, and that's when Triple H took over in the process of him rehabbing the torn pec. Last night was kind of alarming in terms of the continuity issues, and then Seth.
That was a horrible Raw after Mania.
Yeah,
I mean, Raw after Mania is like a pay-per-view. I mean, usually it's an awesome Raw to watch. It's the best one of the year.
It really is. I'm curious. I've stuck with them this far for the last 10 years, watching it again. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and see where they go from here. But kind of skating away from the world of pro wrestling, the Baltimore Ravens have been flirting with Odell Beckham Jr. and a lot of people are saying that it's not going to get done, you included. I think he's using us as leverage to get a higher money deal from somebody else.
Yeah, he wants to go to the Jets.
I think.
Go back to New York.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Why? Now I understand the allure to it, but they got Wilson. They signed Alan Lazard, and they have.
Aaron Rodgers deal ain't done, so if he don't end up there, that'd be hilarious.
Well, that's the thing. All this is predicated on Aaron Rodgers. I don't got Odell going to Green Bay. I don't got him going back to the Rams because the Rams are pretty much in. The Rams right now are.
But if you're a receiver, why would you come here? You don't know who the quarterback's going to be. If you're Odell, he's trying. Let's be honest. He's trying to get another big bite at the apple. He's got one more shot at the apple.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to go to the best place. So why are you going to go? I mean, his quarterback would be Anthony. What's his name?
The thing is, if he was in high demand, he'd have been signed last month. He'd have been one of the first wide receivers off the market, but yet here we are a month.
But Matt, he probably could have been. He's here now. He's listening all off.
But the thing
he's
is,
not rusted.
You saw the type of deals that wide receivers were getting in free agency. Juju got paid. Jacoby Myers got paid. Alan Lazard got paid. And arguably, he's better than all those wide receivers when he's 100% healthy. Now, do we know if we're going to get the Odell Beckham of his mid-20s in his early 30s after an ACL injury kept him on the shelf for 18 months? We don't know. But in the same breath, if he was in demand, he'd have been signed.
Oh, he's in demand.
How much demand is he in? Now, if Aaron Rodgers
he's taking his time, I just think he's not jumped on anything.
If Aaron goes to New York and he goes there, he's wide receiver 3. I don't think he's going to go someplace and be the third option. Now, if he's healthy, he's better than.
I don't know where he wants to go, but he definitely is not coming. He'd be a fool if he came here. You don't know who to. It's a unproven offensive coordinator. We don't know what that's going to be like yet, and it's you don't know who the fuck the quarterback is because we can't figure this shit out.
You're
But we
absolutely
haven't
right.
even got into that yet. I got some shit to say about that when we get to it.
I really think that he wants to come here, but I think he's going to need the guarantee that
You
Lamar
don't want to be in
Jackson's
another Cleveland situation.
right. I think he needs to guarantee that he's going to be the quarterback for 2023 and beyond. And I don't know if you get that right now because the thing is, this is it's awkward because it's a lull right now. You don't really know what we're getting in terms of
Oh, shoot.
if there's going to be a trade. As much as I hate to say it, I agree with Jason Lockenfora. I really
Oh,
truly
my God.
I hate
What?
it. I hate it. I hate it. But I truly believe that Jason Lockenfora is right. I think this is going to play out until after the draft, to where a team that misses on a quarterback is going to trade for Lamar. If he's dead set on not being a Baltimore Raven ever again, I think teams are going to take their shot in this quarterback heavy draft, and whoever they miss out on they're going to trade a 24 and a 25 first round pick, and essentially fuck the Ravens because
Yeah,
right
don't
now
help us this year.
it doesn't help us in the immediate future. And the thing is, hypothetically, if it's Indy, they're going to draft somebody at number 4 overall, whether it's a offensive lineman, a pass rusher, or one of those quarterbacks. If they fall in love with one of them, then Indy's out. If Atlanta misses out on a quarterback and they decide to go with Desmond Ridder, which I really don't think they're going to do, Atlanta could be out. Then there's always that possibility that a team like San Francisco might not feel comfortable with what's going on, and they can say, "Here's 2 1s and Trey Lance," and the Ravens accept it.
Yeah.
And then we're left with another quarterback on a rookie deal who's got questions about making every throw, and our window opens again, but we don't see any draft picks for him until the following year. And if you're banking on a hype, this is all hypothetical now. This is all hypothetical. If a team like the San Francisco 49ers acquire Lamar Jackson, you're guaranteed to be getting a first round draft pick in the late 20s, if not in the 30s.
Yeah.
For both years, because Lamar Jackson makes them a Super Bowl contender. They're a quarterback away. Purdy had the elbow surgery. Jimmy Garoppolo's a Raider, and Trey Lance is coming off of a broken ankle. And that is historically not good for quarterbacks to recover from a broken ankle immediately. It's going to take them a year or two to get the confidence to plant and throw and to plant and run. And that's Lance's game, is the runner. He's an out-of-pocket quarterback. So it's not helping us at all. We are going to get screwed in the end of all this, whether we play him on the tag and he's uncomfortable and he's unhappy, or we're going to not see the dividends of a trade until post-draft. And the draft is quickly approaching, and there's been no movement, and it's starting to alarm me just a little bit.
Well, it looks like we went after Slay. I mean, we tried to make some moves, man.
But I'm tired of us investing in the secondary. Why are we investing all this money in the secondary and we have shit to show for it in the pass rush? Now, here's the thing. You're going to be surprised by this. I love Justin Houston. I've been
We're
for
investing in
Justin.
secondary because Kansas City, Buffalo, and
But
the
you
Bengals are
need pass
offensive
rush.
powerhouses.
You need pass
Well, I
rush.
think they're still believing in OA, and they really believe Ojapo is
That's
going to be something
what I'm
special.
saying. That's what I'm saying, though, Josh. If you're talking about giving Slay a double-digit, millions per year.
Yeah, he said it was a nice contract.
Right, and he gave Philly a chance to match it, and they did. So
Yeah.
now, hypothetically speaking, if Slay would have signed in Baltimore, you now have over $200 million invested in your secondary.
Yeah.
Over $200 million.
Yeah, I think they go back after Marcus Peters.
I believe so too, because there's been essentially no news on him.
Yeah.
I think he's just rehabbing. I think he's just staying at home and hurt the call. And I wouldn't be upset with that. I would not be upset if Marcus came back.
No, me neither. At the right
But
price.
the thing is,
Give him 3 years, $14 million.
not 14 a year. It might have to be 14
No, 14.
for all of it.
That's what I said. 3 years, $14 million.
Now,
14 million.
throw some incentives in there. I think it would be solid, man. I just really, truly believe that a lot hinges on the next few weeks in terms of the draft and if a team sees Lamar being a fit. Now, we could be completely wrong about Odell Beckham and he signs on the dotted line. And then,
It ain't happening.
I,
Don't
I
even say it. It ain't happening. You're gonna
but,
stir up the people.
but for objectivity, hypothetically speaking, Odell Beckham signs. That shows Lamar that we're trying to get a wide receiver for him. If we can bring in Odell
I think
Beckham,
that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a splash move to get him to say, "All right, maybe I'll start to think about it."
but the thing is, if we make a splash move, then he goes back to the negotiating table, and we can get a deal done to where we can get at least a third of that 32 million off the books this year, if not half of it, and then go find somebody else to play wide receiver, wait for a DeAndre Hopkins or trade for a Mike Evans or trade for a Keenan Allen. Something I know those names are all guys that are pushing 30, but we need to do something in terms of giving him potential weapons. It's got to be done. If we don't make a move, he's going to sit out or we're going to have to trade him. And then where are we? We have $33 million in cap space back, but where are we at that point? We're not in any form to contend. And if we go into the NFL draft with 5 picks, we're 100% certain to trade out of 22. I would not
Oh
be
yeah,
surprised.
he's going to try to build his capital.
I would not be surprised if Eric DeCosta traded out of the first round completely to get some
Oh
day
yeah,
two, picks back, and potentially a one down the road,
he's going to
depending
go with
on
the
what.
value. If the value is trading back and accumulating, getting at least 7 picks, he will probably do that. I count on that actually. I'll be willing to bet that's what he does.
They had no other
Unless
choice,
there's somebody there that they love and they think can change things defensively or offensively.
right?
He's going back. It's going to have to be somebody they love, like Hamilton falling to us last year.
And I don't think lightning strikes twice. For that, having somebody of that caliber falling to us at 22, it's a miracle Hamilton fell to us at 14. And
Yeah, the
you
Ravens
know,
were stoked. No one expected him to be there. I didn't. I thought he was going 7 or 8.
yeah, and after a rough start, man, he was the best rated free safety in football, or the best rated strong safety in football. You know,
He had one bad game, really. He had one bad game, and it took him a while to get it. But people gotta understand, you go from college to NFL, dude. It's complete. I mean, we got NFL guys on here all the time saying that.
I love it, man. I think he's doing great in terms of
I'm just curious how they're going to play him
expectations.
this year. Is it going to be more last year, kind of like a slot guy linebacker kind of thing? Or are they going to put him back in coverage and see what he does? I mean, he rated high in coverage.
I mean, and I think it all depends on who they add to the secondary in terms of a backup safety. We were looking at
Geno
Baltimore
Stone's
native.
back.
Gino, he is back.
Yeah, they resigned him.
Okay, so Geno Stone's back.
And we
They
were
were
wrong about Matabuke. Sorry for the fake news, folks. Matabuke has 1 year left on the deal.
Yes, 24. Him and Broderick Washington have a year left.
Yep. So sorry about the wrong info, folks. We blame that on our producer, Adam.
um, if the Ravens kick around somebody like Adrian Amos, Baltimore native, I believe he
Who?
played at Calvert Hall. Adrian Amos, he's a safety from Chicago and Green Bay.
Play at Calvert Hall?
I believe so. I believe he's a Calvert Hall alumni. So I just think that if they get somebody back there that can kind of beat Chuck Clark without the Chuck Clark price tag, I think they'll be all right. And they'll let Hamilton float and just go where he's needed. I think he played very well in the Mike McDonald defense. That's just me, though.
And he's only going to get better.
Absolutely. And then hopefully we get a full, healthy 16, 17 games out of Marcus Williams this year. That would be nice.
Yeah.
But enough about the defensive side of the ball. I really believe that they got to make something happen in order to keep Lamar around. I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point that he's probably going to be gone. I think there's a lot of hurt feelings and a lot of fences that need to be mended in terms of. I think the only thing that would keep him happy as a Baltimore Raven is if we back up the Brinks truck, and if we haven't done it in the first month, I don't think we're going to do it at all.
No, they're not giving him 230.
No, they're not giving him anything close to it. I don't think anybody is.
And he's kind of being deceptive because he keeps saying, I don't want a fully guaranteed deal, but like, okay, but you want 230 guaranteed, bud. Like, come on, like they're not doing it, bro.
Right.
No one's giving him that. He's got to eat his fucking pride. The Ravens offered him $200 million at signing. Guaranteed $200 million. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, really, you didn't sign it over $30 million? Come on, man.
I really just hope, a lot of how I felt about the whole situation. I mean, right now I'm just kind of indifferent to it. I'm just like I say every episode, man. I'm just waiting for it to be over. But I'm really indifferent to it now. I'm not really hardcore against it or hardcore for it. Daniel Wilcox really opened up my eyes on the last.
He did. I like his points. Yeah, he did.
You got to think about it from a player perspective, and then you got to think about it from the ownership perspective. Then you got to think about it from the fandom perspective. That it's all different, and I truly believe that we'll be, okay in the long run. But at the same time, we do have a 75% win percentage with him behind center, and that's something you can't ignore.
No, he's a big part. You can't take that away. He's a big part of the team. He's the
really
offense.
Is.
I mean, he is the offense by himself.
So something needs to get done, just for the sake of it ending to where we can either grieve or we can just remain cautiously optimistic, depending on how it turns out. But moving on to the Baltimore Orioles segment of the show.
Baltimore got to show off the World Series ring. Everybody at home, man, get out the diamond tester. Okay.
This is the final segment of the show. We're going to talk about the first week of Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Easy. Should only take 30 seconds.
We are
Tale of two stories.
Yeah, we're 2-2.
Tale of two teams.
We have our home opener on Thursday at 3:00.
Thursday at 3:00.
And the festivities should be starting downtown around noon. From all indications on the radio, festivities will start down outside the stadium around 12:00. Grayson Rodriguez was announced as he is being called up to the majors. He is in Texas with the big ball club now.
Yes, sir.
So I was a fan of him last year. Then he got hurt. Wanted to see him come up late in the year. He didn't. They kind of just played it safe with him all year.
So baseball does. That's what drives me nuts about it.
I wanted him to make the team out of camp just because, I know he didn't have a very good camp as it was, but you got to let these pitchers work through it, man. They're not gonna improve if you don't let them work through their.
I just think they were trying. I just think he needed to make some adjustments. They didn't want him to come up and get roped and fully lose all his confidence. So I don't disagree with Elias on that. I get it. I probably would have done the same thing. Send him down, let him make an adjustment, get him back right, gets a little bit of confidence back, versus keeping him up here and he goes out and gets nailed and roped and then he loses all confidence. Things like that make or break careers, man.
You're right. Look what happened.
Look at Jake Arrieta.
DL Hall last year.
Look at Jake Arrieta. He goes to Chicago. Give him a little bit of confidence, a little bit of different coaching style, and the dude lit the major leagues up for a few years. Won a ring.
Not only that, though, but Arrieta went on record, and so did a couple of, I think, Galsman as well. Our previous pitching coach didn't let him throw cut fastballs. And Arrieta was mowing dudes down with his cutter.
Yeah.
And it kills me right now that Galsman's one of the best pitchers in baseball. It absolutely pisses me off to no end that he is one of the best pitchers in the entire major leagues right now.
Yes, he is.
He's top 10. And
he's a prick too, man. Every time he plays us, he talks shit.
Yeah, well, they got rid of him. Yeah. They got rid of him after a couple of years. I think in order for this team to really stay on track and be players in the AL East this year and just in the American League in general for the wild card, they're going to need Grayson Rodriguez and DL Hall to grow up and be those guys that they've been touted to be for the last 5 years. They need them to be those guys now. And I firmly believe that they both have the capability. DL seems like he's a fringe bullpen guy, and I really hope that he can get it together and start for this team because
Be what he's supposed to be, man. We've been waiting for this kid for a minute.
Yeah, it seems like we've been waiting for him since 2018, maybe.
Yeah.
2019. So hopefully he gets it together. I think that we're going to have to end up parting ways with one or two of these prospects that we got in the minor leagues. Bring in a starting pitcher. We need either a starter or a bona fide middle reliever, somebody that's just lights out.
Yeah, one or the other would be. I'd like to have another strong arm in the rotation.
Perfect world, we flip a couple prospects and we go get Corbin Burns from Milwaukee.
The jury's still out on how I feel like the season's going to go because the Boston series was just ugly, embarrassing. It was terrible defensively. But then last night, the Texas game, that's a team that put up like 20-some runs in 3 games, some crazy stat like that.
And then we blanked them.
And we blanked them, and the pitching looked solid. So they got some solid innings out of what's his name last night? Wells, am I saying the right name?
Tyler Wells, I believe, yes.
Yeah, it was Wells. Yeah, he was slated to start tonight, I believe, and then they brought him in to relieve. He ended up doing really good, and so it's jury's out. We don't know. I'm hoping it's the team that played last night. As soon as we go off air, I gotta get the game on. I forgot to turn the TV on. The remote's on the other side of the room, and I love the Birds, man. It is, and I love the Birds, man, and I'm excited that they're back. I feel like the trajectory is perfect. I know we've been hearing rebuild our entire lives with the Orioles. We only got a few good seasons here and there. You're too young to remember the back in the day Birds, when the kids snatched the ball from us. You're way too young to remember that. But, I got that as a child. The Orioles were so good, and then we sucked.
You're older than me, asshole.
For 50 years.
You're
I know.
older
That's
than
why.
me.
Do you remember?
I remember Tony Tarasco. Jeffrey Meyer took the ball from him. Yeah. I remember in the Yankees minor league system.
Yep. So it's just exciting. And Adley Rutschman is just pay him now. Can we talk about that a second? I feel like the city needs an uplift. Just pay him now. Something, even if it's not crazy, give him something to bypass some arbitration years. That way you don't got to go to court against the kid. Just give Baltimore something to be happy about.
I would pay him the way
give him something.
I would do
3,
it with him.
4-year, 5-year extension, $100 million, something crazy like that.
Yeah, what Seattle did with Julio Rodriguez, their star center fielder, who's like
even
19 or 20.
That, 4 years, $70 million, something. Give him some money. Give us something to be happy about. At least know we got Adley locked down because we're not going to be able to keep all these guys.
Adley and Gunnar need to be locked up. Buy out their arbitration years.
There was an expert on the Fan the other day and said, let me tell you this. He said, Adley, yes, I believe he'll be an Oriole for a long time. But he said, Gunnar, he said, there's no way. He said, I believe Gunner's going to be the best player in baseball. He's going to get $400 million.
That's lofty considering what's the other players around the league right now. Because I'm fully expecting Ohtani to break the bank next year somewhere, whether it's in with the Dodgers or with the Red Sox or the Yankees or somebody. But I was watching MLB Network and they had him valued as a $285 million hitter and a $300 million pitcher.
Wow.
Over a 10-year span.
But look, I mean, the Orioles had one of the lowest payrolls in baseball last year, and they were a few made the damn playoffs.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
You can't buy a championship as much as teams try. You can't buy one. You got to have some pieces go wrong. Well, did you just draw on national TV?
I did. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
That's rule number 55.
You don't know the 54 rules in front of that.
I know one thing. I got an ice cold Coke on my knee right now, and it's feeling amazing.
Coke or a Pepsi?
Coke.
Okay. At this point, Pepsi and you who need to sponsor us.
Yeah. And actually, it's not Coke, man. We go off-brand sometimes around here. It's cola. We don't got Dr. Pepper. We got Dr. Popper.
I'm looking
we
at
got
some.
Mountain. We don't got Mountain Dew. We got Mountain Lightning.
I got a couple comments coming in. The Mariners gave Julio Rodriguez $350 million for 10 years. I'm gonna fact check that because I don't know if that's right.
I don't know. I believe you, buddy. I believe Matt is incorrect on this, bud. Do 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 do.
That's he's got 12 years and at 209 million. Yeah, so that was $100 million extension or $150 million extension. Yeah, I'm looking on Spot Track right now.
Yeah, do something nice for him, man. Get the city something to be happy about. I just, after what happened with Manny, we lost him and got nothing in return. I think there's only like one player in the system from that trade, if memory serves me.
Yeah, he's making 19 million a year the next couple years. 18 million, 10 million. Yeah, Rodriguez isn't getting that kind of money.
Adley'd be happy to sign something, I'm sure he would be.
Oh, I think
5 years, 65 million, something.
Adley might be one of the. I think Adley's going to end up being one of the best players in the major leagues. I don't know about Gunnar being like I love Gunnar and I think he's a fantastic player already, but I don't see Gunnar being one of those guys that's going to get 400 million on the open market.
I don't like him not playing third. I know what's his name won a Gold Glove, but come on, man, put him at third, dude. He's the future.
I put him as shortstop.
What's his name
man.
As second, bro? Fuck no, man. Put him. He's a third baseman.
You don't think Gunnar's a shortstop?
No, I think he's a third baseman.
And where do you put Urias at the second?
Yeah. Why not?
I mean,
I know he won the Gold Glove. I get it. He was the best third baseman. I get it.
I think Mateo's not going to be here too much longer because I think they're going to be ready to bring up
his
Holiday.
His bat's not strong enough. He's just holding the spot, but he's a good damn holder.
Yeah, he's a very.
And I got to give it to him. That dude hit a damn bomb the other day, so he's got power somewhere in there.
Yeah, if he can find it consistently, it would be
he's
fantastic.
He's a 200 hitter, and he's going to give you amazing defense. And he's fast as shit when he does get on.
And if he gets on base, he's getting you a couple stolen bases a night. I think he had 5. I think he had 5 in the Boston series alone.
Yeah, he's fast, dude.
But
it's going to hurt to see guys like him go because he's not part of the immediate future.
Yeah, it was like
bad happens with Holiday.
It was rough seeing us not bringing Rougned Odor back. That was that was shitty. He was like the lifeblood of the team.
Where did Odor go?
I think he's still a free agent. But yeah, man, this was a short one tonight, man. That'll wrap the show. 34 minutes. We'll be back later. This week, if not early next week. Hopefully, we got some
big interviews coming up.
Yes, we got some big ones that we're trying to lock down for you guys. We will be having former New York Jets wide receiver Tavon Mason joining the show. He is a Baltimore native and a good friend of mine. He is an entrepreneur off the field. He has a beard butter company. He has a charity foundation, Tavon Mason for the Kids. He's a children's book author, and he is a content creator as well. So we will be having Tavon join the show in the coming days. And hopefully, if there's some Lamar news, we will be doing a joint podcast with the guys over at 1223, Kerry Williams and Bernard Pollard, who is a
Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Super Bowl champions, who's a show regular at this point. So, Josh, thank you for toughing through the show. I know you're not feeling good, buddy.
Sick.
And, I hope you feel better, and go ahead and sign us off.
All right, we're going to shut it down in Raventown. I don't feel good. I'm going to bed. Get us out this bitch.